Hey, my name is Jobby, and we're talking about just recreating something that actually happened at TFCon. TFCon LA 2023. Had a great time there, and I'm gonna talk about it. So might as well start on day one.
But Jobby! No sponsors for the last 2 videos? It's time to make that paper fat!
This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, a free-to-play game that brings a true console-level experience to your busted-ass phone. It features hundreds of artifacts to equip and over 600 champions blessed with unique skills, with even more champions and content added to the game every month. But from all of these champions, who would I invite to a dinner party, you ask? Weird question. But if you really must know, Sotalia, in case anyone hurts themselves with a steak knife, she'd heal us in a pinch. Venus, a master of poison. She'd be able to spot any spoiled meat. And if anyone does get food poisoning, Cardiel's able to remove any debuffs. And finally, the Sky Touch Shaman, because she's already dressed for the occasion. But what the heck are we celebrating? Well, Raid's 4th anniversary, of course, and there's a lot to get excited about. I'm talking dedicated offers, free gifts, promo codes, events, and a brand new fusion event where you can get your hands on an anniversary-themed legendary champion. You'll also get a nostalgic recap video of your stats in Raid. Wonder how many champions I've pulled since last year. And for Amazon Prime members, look out for the next drop with some powerful Savage gear, available until March 30th. So, for all new players, check the link in the description or scan my QR code to get some insane bonuses, including the epic champion Kellen the Shrike and other useful things like energy refills, magic potions, and XP brews. And since it's Raid's birthday, all new and existing players can get a bunch of free birthday gifts. Once you're in game after clicking on the links, just use promo code 4YearsRaid to get 4 legendary skill tomes plus a ton of useful stuff. So once again, check my link in the description and I'll see you at my dinner party in the game. TFCon LA 2023 ran from March 10th to March 12th, and I didn't go for day 1. Dealer room wasn't open yet, and it was mainly for people who wanted to avoid the registration line on Saturday, which turned out not to be that bad. But what I did do was had an impromptu karaoke session with a few friends. Impromptu, that's a word, right?
Impromptu.
And unfortunately for my sleeping schedule, I got completely shit-faced. Got a bunch of great beers from Anaheim, shoutouts to Bottle Logic, not sponsored, and heavily went to town. It did not help that I had to wake up at 7 in the morning for day 2, in which I looked more like this. The drive to TFCon was long but chill, and I was accompanied by my paid actors, good friends, Oscar and Omar, who you know better as Sybil. Stopped by for some breakfast, good old Mickey D's, while I was slowly dying from alcohol poisoning. But luckily, once we were in line to get our bracelets, I quickly got my act together, for the time being. Turns out that a great hangover cure is to see a bunch of Transformers toys in one place. God damn, the dealer room made a great first impression. I loved seeing all the displays, and even one booth recognized me. And then another person recognized me. And then another person recognized me. I gotta say, at the risk of sounding a little conceited, this was the most times I've gotten recognized in public, and I can't thank you enough. It's always such a nice experience to meet you guys in person, because it reminds me that there's an actual person behind that stupid comment, behind the text on screen. And everyone who approached me was super nice, super supportive. It just made me not want to quit YouTube. I cannot thank you guys enough for your continued support. I'm so sorry if I don't remember your names. It was nothing personal, and you know. Also met one of my chat regulars in person. Shoutouts to Guat the Fook. Really cool guy. But I did not go to TFCon to get my ego stroked. Although, thanks for stroking. That's inappropriate. My priority was meeting the man, the myth, the legend himself, David Kaye, and perhaps getting him to say it. Met even more Jobby fans, also known as Joblins, in the David Kaye line, and once I approached his booth, I nearly had a damn heart attack. I was so nervous. You might not know it for all the shit that I do for ad revenue, but I could be quite shy sometimes. And it wasn't just David Kaye, the person who was in my videos, that I was meeting. This was David Kaye, my childhood Megatron. The first thing I said to David when I met him face to face was, "You might not know who I am." And for a second, I thought he didn't. But But as we stood there shaking hands, the grip got tighter, the vibe got lighter, and the meeting between MCU actor David Kaye and internet niche micro-celebrity JobbytheHong was official. He filmed a nice little video of his interaction and posted it on his Twitter and Instagram. And just by looking at my face, you could tell I was shitting my pants. It also didn't help that he announced my presence to everyone in line. Not that I blame the guy, you know that I appreciate that ego stroke. But at that moment that he shouted my name to the heavens, everyone brought out their phones and cameras and started filming, as if we were solving world peace or something. I don't know, man. It'll always be strange to me that people see me as some sort of famous person. As far as I was concerned, I met David Kaye as a fan and went to TFCon as a customer. But again, appreciate your support.
Who showed up?
Hello.
JobbytheHong. Oh my God.
Hello.
I'm still not saying it.
Why not? It's been so long.
I know. I have to work up to it.
3 videos. Please.
2 more videos and maybe I will. You know, we'll see.
David, I hope you don't regret those words. Shaking his hand, getting to talk to him, having him admit that he might say the thing. All of that would have been enough for my ideal David Kaye interaction. But I did not walk out of it empty-handed. I brought along my own copy of the retro reissue Megatron and got it signed. David Kaye to the great Jobby. One of my most precious possessions now. If anything happened to this thing, I think I might actually die. Probably not a good idea to announce my weakness to the internet. I love this, and I love you, David. We gotta actually hang out one of these days. And stay tuned to the end of this video to see more of that interaction. So, moving on from David Kaye. How could I? It was about time for me and the boys to grab a refreshment. We have a problem. We clinked, we drank, and I started dying again. Didn't want to bother my friends about it, and didn't want to upset any fans who came up to meet me, so I kept a straight face and moved on back to the dealer room, walked around a little more, said hi to more fans, even decided to buy this TFCon exclusive. Cool little guy, I played with it on my second channel, Jobby2, and it might just get a review. And shortly after I bought this thing, general admission started to open up. You see, we were there for early access, so the dealer room wasn't quite packed. The line for David Kaye was long but doable, and a bunch of people started coming in as me and my friends were going out. Because let's face it, meeting David Kaye, meeting a few fans, and buying a toy, I was super satisfied with my experience and still feeling a little, you know. So we decided to leave, but as we were leaving, the doorman recognized me, and more people recognized me, and more, and more, and more. Oh boy, this is how Judy Hopps felt, huh? It got to a point where the doorman had to say straight up, if you want to take a picture with JobbytheHong, you gotta move out of the doorway. So apologies to TFCon for causing traffic. I did not know I could do that. So I did the best I could to keep on living while saying hi to all of you guys. And I don't think it's a stretch to say that I fucking love you. You guys are awesome. Thank you. But at a certain point, my friends disappeared and I had to get the heck out of there. Said some final hellos, left the building at around noon, and off we went on the ride home. But that is not where the day ended. On the trip back home, we talked about how great TFCon was, and by we, I mean Omar and Oscar, because I was slowly fading into nothingness. And over the course of the drive, I paid less and less attention and got quieter and quieter, and I felt a bit of a pit in my stomach. And in the middle of Omar and Oscar's great conversation, I reached for the back seat. I was riding shotgun, Omar was driving, and I grabbed Omar's tote bag and made sure to empty it out. Thank Primus they gave these out for free because no joke, I threw up in a TFCon bag in Omar's car, and I learned very well that these bags aren't that thick. Yes, my dear viewers, it started leaking. I also learned that I should cut back on drinking, but I learned that 1,000 times already. So I grabbed Oscar's tote bag, double bagged it. All my friends could do while I was orally ejaculating was stare in horror and pass me tissues. A formal apology to Omar for throwing up in his car, but I'm glad it happened there and not at the con. You could ask him about it during our next stream. But if you were wondering, this thing was unscathed, thank goodness. And the drive home continued in silence. Threw up a few more times, stopped by for wings, and went back home and officially died. The end of day 2. Day 3, the final day of TFCon. Because I had the whole previous day to recover, this day felt a lot nicer. Also, I think it's important to note that every picture you guys took with me where I look like this, I was extremely hungover. But the pictures of me where I'm dressed as COVID Prime, didn't bring the mask, I forgot. This is when I felt 100%. And I 100% loved loved my final day at TFCon. It was a lot more packed. So many people lined up to meet Peter Cullen, who I didn't get to meet. I would have loved to, especially dressed like this, but I found the wait a little too long, and I wanted to go to a Beast Wars panel. That was unfortunately around the same time when people were lining up for Peter Cullen. But if I did meet him, maybe I would have asked him to say, "It's time." While day 3 wasn't as monumental as day 2, I still had a ton of fun. Met so many more fans, including some fellow content creators. Shoutouts to Alfonso Nation, although I've never watched any of your content. You seem like a heck of a guy, and you have more balls to vlog than I do. That's why I'm talking about it after the fact instead of having a proper vlog. But we do have some footage. Watch to the end. It was on this day that I decided to buy more stuff. Not as much as you'd think, thank God for my wallet, but enough to satisfy. This is the DX9 Hanzo, which is a third-party 6-shot, might get a review. And my favorite purchase of the day, the Fans Toys Parkour, a third-party cliff jumper, definitely getting a review. I also got a really nice shirt, as did my friends. You can see us wearing them in my TFCon stream, my only Transformer shirt surprisingly. And after walking around the dealer room for a bit, we had a Beast Wars panel to catch, but not before stopping by for some refreshments. I'm telling you, we have a problem. The panel was awesome, by the way. Ian James Corlett, David Sobolov, and of course, David Kaye. It was a great reminiscing about their careers, about Beast Wars in general, and the funniest of them all, Gary Chalk. Apparently, Gary Chalk likes to fart. Their words, not mine. Pull my finger! That's how they impersonated him. I gotta get Gary on a video. And once they open up the panel to questions, I was too much of a bitch to go up. A lot of great questions from the audience, but by the time I mustered up the courage to line up for a question, the panel ended. You know, I think it's for the best. I was just gonna ask David if we could hang out. Cringe averted. But as me and my friends were leaving the panel room and people started sitting down for the EarthSpark panel, someone recognized me. And someone else recognized me. And someone else recognized me. Of course, I love all of this. It got to a point where people had to tell me to step outside. Again, sorry to TFCon for causing traffic. I really gotta get my own booth next time. And it was also around that time where I decided to take the stupid thing off and put these on because they're much more comfy. So while the EarthSpark panel was going on, I used the bathroom and met a family of fans in the bathroom. It's a weird place to meet fans. And me and my friends decided to get some more refreshments and food because we were killing time for another panel that we were interested in, the YouTuber panel, which I wasn't invited to. No hard feelings. Food was great, drinks were great, and the panel was great. Admittedly, I don't watch that much YouTube, ironically enough, but I appreciated all the content creators on the panel. It was a panel consisting of Kian Carlisle, Paper Plane, Emperor Kumquat, Ultra Primal. Oh, and Alfonso showed up. Nice. It's because of these guys that there's such a wide variety of Transformers-related content on YouTube, and variety is the spice of life. And also Vangelis was there, the only creator that I was familiar with, and I really wanted to ask him a question, but again, by the time I decided to ask, the panel ended. But it all worked out in the end because those creators were hanging out outside of the panel room, and I got to say what I wanted to say. I told Vangelis how much his work inspired my own. Without him, there would be no me, and I asked if he would take responsibility for my existence. He said no. Can't blame him. Gave me his business card, which I really need one of these. And I also got these lovely stickers from Ultra Primal. So after many of you guys said hi and took pictures with me, I decided that, you know what, that was enough for me. So off to the car we went, saying hi all the while, and that concludes day 3. Which is the conclusion to TFCon. Beautiful experience overall. I would love to come again next year in a more official capacity because I realized that my presence is a lot more beloved than I initially expected. And I cannot thank you guys enough once again. So, seeing as I caught this a review, overall... highly recommend you go if you haven't. I think they're doing it in LA again next year, which means I'll definitely go again. I'll see you all there. And I'll see you in the next video. Let's wrap this up with a nice little mini vlog that my friend Oscar filmed and edited. Omar also filmed.
want to hear it?
Go for it.
I am Optimus Prime. Autobots, transform and roll out.
That's amazing. Can you say it's really good? We must contain the...
Autobots, it's time to contain the China virus.
Thank you so much.
I love you.
I'll start making reviews again next month. I gotta pump out a sponsorship or else Benny will get mad again.